What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, and today I'm super duper happy to be talking about another American-made product. In fact, even better, it's an American-made automatic, and even better than that, even better than bacon and cheese on a bacon and cheeseburger. Even better than that, we've got an American-made out-the-front automatic. Everybody's got to love an out-the-front automatic. They're not very utilitarian at all. They're not very strong at all, and they are very expensive. So what is there not to love about an out-the-front automatic? So what we've got here is the Kershaw Livewire. Again, this is an American-made out-the-front automatic from Kershaw Knives. The Livewire being the very first of their autos that come in an out-the-front version. They've got, I don't even know how many in the launch series now. They're like at 16 or 17 or something. That has been extremely popular, extremely successful, the launch series for Kershaw. I own 3 myself. The Livewire that we have here today is the newest, most specialist, Mama Loves It Better Than You version, and that is in the carbon fiber front cover and CPM Magnacut for your blade steel. As usual, Baz on Blades got an excellent deal on this. He bought it from KershawGuide.com. I believe this is at least the second Kershaw automatic that I have bought from Kershaw Guy. I got an email from Jeffrey Orthopedic, of course, and he's like, dude, he's got them on sale. You are never, ever going to beat this price. I went over there. I think it was $205, I think. It was stupid low for this knife. And I was like, take my money. I want it. Snatching it up. I pushed the button. I was like, do it. Get it. Let's do it right now. And we did. We did it right now, guys. It was great. It was great. So $205 is what I paid for this. That's a stupid good deal. I did check the price right now as of today, whenever I post this, midway August 2024. The price was $220. That is probably still going to be the best price on the internet for this. I will leave a link for this knife at KershawGuide.com. They are legit, okay? They are well known as legit within the community, so don't worry about that. If you've never done business with them, totally legit. I'll leave a link in the description of the video, and I'll pin it in the comment section. So the Kershaw Livewire is not a new model. It's been out now for maybe a year and a half or 2 years. There's like 10,000 reviews of this knife on the internet. So instead of doing a regular review, we are going to do a versus or a comparison sort of review overview. And I'm going to bring out my other out the front auto, and that is my Hogue Counterstrike Collector's Edition, and these are both in that what I say is Microtech, Ultratech range. They're exact same size. They're competitive size. Everybody makes a knife this size. Is probably the most popular size of out the front auto on the market, and all the main manufacturers make them. So we're going to go over all the specs on this, the dimensions, the weight. We're going to talk about this blade steel a little bit. We're going to talk about how these things are put together, the fit and finish, the action on them. And then we're going to talk a little bit about value between these two knives, as one is quite a bit less expensive than the other. Now, I did get a great deal on this knife. I bought it when they first came out, but now they are $399 anywhere I could find that had them in stock, versus let's say current price of $220 here. Both American-made knives in very similar materials. There are some very slight differences. There's one niggly little thing for Bazon blades that really, it doesn't hurt the value or the performance of the Kershaw, but it's like a burr in my shoe when I carry this knife and I use it. And we'll talk a little bit about that, and you can decide whether it's worth even saying anything about or whether it would bother you as well. Again, does not affect the performance of the knife. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the knife. It's just a stupid little Bazon blades thing. Well, I don't know what that was. It was falling, but I'm pretty sure Jax the Destroyer had something to do with it. So we'll just go on here. Dimension-wise, on your Kershaw, you're looking at 3 3/8 of an inch blade length to the handle. Your cutting edge is 3 5/16. I want to come up here very close, and I want you to see how efficient of a blade design this is as far as cutting edge to overall length. That is very tight. This is an excellent blade profile and choice of grind design. Excellent. Down metric, that's what, 8.5 centimeters versus 82 millimeters for your cutting edge. The Hogue, again, 3 3/8 of an inch blade length, but not as efficient as far as cutting edge. You can see there's much more of a space here because of the design of the blade profile and the grind. So you're just looking at 3 3/16 of an inch cutting edge. And again, your metric specs, 8.5 centimeters and a loss of 2 millimeters on the cutting edge, 81 millimeters versus, what did I say, is 82 millimeters. So a loss of about a millimeter and a half there. Let's see, your blade thickness on these things. The Kershaw is at 121 thousandths of an inch or 3.08 millimeters. The Hogue, slightly heavier. You are looking at 124 thousandths of an inch or 3.16 millimeters. You would not be able to tell the difference unless you put your calipers on it, which is what I did because stupidity. Your handle width measured at the button, and you're going to see that the Hogue is slightly more compact in every dimension for the most part than the Kershaw is. Handle width on the Kershaw, 1.18 inches at the button or 31 millimeters. On the Hogue, 1.04 inches or 26.5 millimeters at the button. Slightly narrower. As far as your handle thickness goes, 484 thousandths for the Kershaw. That's 12.3 millimeters. 458 thousandths for the Hogue, and that's 11.6 millimeters. Overall length, 8 3/16 of an inch or 20.5 centimeters for the Kershaw. The Hogue is 8 1/4 of an inch or 21 centimeters. And again, right there, lanyard attachment point on the pocket clip. We will talk about that, but that's where that extra length on the handle and the overall length are coming in because I included them. That is intrusive enough to need to be included in that length. Let's see, weight-wise, well, neither one of these things are going to weigh your pocket down. In fact, I can carry either one of them, and there's some point in the day that I suddenly reach down and I'm like, fuck, I lost my knife. And no, it's still there. I just can't feel it. The Kershaw, this super heavy-duty big boy right here, 2.82 ounces weighing down your pocket. Better wear a belt. That's 80 grams. The Hogue, even lighter, 2.72 ounces or 77 grams. They're both for 3 3/8 of blade length. They are featherweights in your pocket. So let's put this Hogue up for a second. We're going to talk about some blade steel. This is CPM Magnacut. It is the new Wonder Steel on the market. It is guaranteed to bring world peace, cure all types of cancer, and never ever go dull. It doesn't matter if you use it to cut rebar. It will not ever, ever, ever go dull. It's the greatest steel that's ever been made. And if you are not bowing down to worship this steel, then you will be an outcast. Outcast. Put away from the group in the knife enthusiast community. It is like a damn CPM Magnacut cult out there. It is kind of scary. The way that this steel has come into the knife enthusiast community. What it really is a new take on designing what is basically a designer cutlery steel. There has been a sort of a line of thought on steel for the last 200 years, basically. I don't know if it's that much. I'm just saying modern industrialized world. Let's say 200, 250 years, if you want to be that generous. This steel was designed a little bit different thought process, a little bit different way of combining its alloying agents. And what we're supposed to see in this steel, and you know what, a lot of people have done cutting tests with this steel. I don't think it's a miracle steel. I don't think it is going to save us all from Thanos. The Avengers could do that, but I don't think that CPM Magnacut will. I'm not sure. Maybe in part 2 of the next movie we'll catch something about it. I don't know. Be sure to watch during the credits at the end and get that extra scene where they will definitely, no matter what, they will be talking about CPM Magnacut. It is that important. I don't know if this stuff is that fantastic, guys. It seems to me that manufacturers are concentrating more on its higher usable hardness level. And this is something that Baz on Blades needs to do a separate video of, but we are all throwing our money away on premium steels because none of the manufacturers are hardening them to their highest performance level because they're all grinding the blades stupidly thin behind the edge, and they cannot warranty the blades if they are any harder than they are. Yeah, we're going to definitely go into that in a different video. But you know what? It is the darling child of the knife world. It has held on now for a while. I'm very excited about the theory of what CPM Magnacut is. And basically what it is it has taken all of the modern characteristics we like to see in a stainless blade steel, a high performance steel, and it has enabled us to achieve those performance parameters at a higher hardness level without running into toughness or impact resistance issues. It also is nicely corrosion resistant. On paper, it is a miracle steel. On paper, it is. I don't know if it performs that well, but if the manufacturers will keep the Rockwell of CPM Magnacut at least 62, 63, somewhere around there, I think it will, if it hasn't in a lot of people's eyes, it will become the new 6'5" Creedmoor of the knife enthusiast community. If you know, you know. So, yeah, this is a beautiful knife right here. This is a beautiful knife. I've got to bring it back out. Even though this video is not really about this knife, I've already reviewed this Counterstrike Collector's Edition. It is just a beautiful, beautiful knife. As far as handle materials on these knives, they are very similar except for one thing. Both knives have a carbon fiber front cover. Man, boy, what's wrong with you? Here you can see them compared. They are a different weave, and they do have a different machining pattern on it that reveals the weave in a different way. The Hogue is three-dimensionally machined in this swirl pattern that is very reminiscent of a lot of the modern Brian tie type of designs. The Kershaw is in a flat plane with a big flat plane chamfer, stylized chamfer down each side, making it feel radiused. We are radially machined on the Hogue, but we are the same materials. It is a carbon fiber front cover. The biggest difference here is in the hardware. The Kershaw is put together with stainless steel T6 hardware. The Hogue is put together with titanium T8 hardware. Again, $399 versus $220. Same basic materials, same blade steel, both reputable companies. There is a finite difference between these knives. And that's what you're going to see in that the almost double the price between the less expensive Kershaw to the more expensive Hogue. So I think, let's see, we're stainless steel deep carry pocket clips. They are reversible. They are butt mounted. I believe the triggers on both of these, I do not know. They are metal, of course. They are non-magnetic. And both of them slide against an aluminum and carbon fiber chassis. So I'm not surprised that they did not use steel for that part, either one of these manufacturers. They may be aluminum, they may be titanium. I do not remember on the Hogue, and I do not know on the Kershaw. I honestly don't care. I don't care what it is. I just know that it's non-magnetic and it's button shaped and it works as a button. So that's good enough for Baz arm blades. I mean, they're so close. These knives are so close to each other. We're going to go into action now. There is some differences, and I am not an out-the-front automatic expert. I know next to nothing about the mechanics of an out-the-front automatic. They frighten me. Not the knife doesn't frighten me. It's just a damn knife. Disassembling one of these with the plate springs in it, and there's specific things that I'm not super familiar with, that even as a knife enthusiast or a YouTuber, I just have not been on the inside of that many out the front automatics. I just haven't. So I'm not going to talk too much about that, but I am going to point out a couple of things. I know everybody is curious, how much blade play is there in these two knives? So we'll get very close to the camera here and we'll take a look. Okay, I don't know if you can even see that. There is, you can maybe see it a little bit better right here on the side to side, the lateral play here. There is a little bit of play in that, and I would say it's about average. It's about average for an out-the-front automatic. On the Hogue, it is just the slightest little short and curly thickness less. The slightest bit in both directions. Just the slightest bit. But both of them are very acceptable for what they are, out-the-front automatics. The action, as far as how fast they are, let's see here. I think I'm like at 4K at 30 frames per second is what I'm recording at. Now, after that is uploaded to YouTube, that will be compressed down to like 480p plus or so, 480p 1.5 maybe. But these are, as far as the snap, the speed of the action, the ejection, and and whatever they call pulling back the blade. I don't know that shit. I'm just a dumb hillbilly from East Tennessee. I think the action is pretty much the same. It's nice and snappy. It's competitive with Microtech. It's competitive with Benchmade. It's all these guys are super close. I will say one thing, and this is where we're going to get into the niggly niggle here on the Kershaw Livewire, and that is in the button. The retention on the button, I am assuming, is only in the flange. If you look underneath right here, you're going to see there is a machined flange on the underside of that button, and it rides in a machined groove on the inside diameter, the inside of the handle scales. And I think that is the only retention for that button. It does have a little bit of, you know, some of this action going right here. It's like a really shitty tap dancer is what it sounds like. And nobody likes a really shitty tap dancer. I don't care if they're dancing in the rain or not. On the Hogue, we got if I put enough force on it, I can make it make some noise, but there's no play in it at all. If I just grab a hold of it and wiggle it, yeah, there's no play in it at all. So I don't know if there is a primary retention, and then this just slides within the groove here, or if the tolerances are just that much tighter for the same type of mounting for the Hogue. Now, as far as performance goes on the Kershaw Livewire, it makes zero difference at all. It is not a defect. It is a result of the design and the tolerances and the price point. I think this is the only sign of price point in this knife. I think everything else bats above its price point. I think this is where we might see that. And I could be just blowing smoke out my ass right now. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like I say, I'm not an expert. But there is a little bit of play in that. Now, as far as the action, it doesn't make any difference, except when you're moving the action, there is that little tick of that play. It's just it's like a very, if this was a gun trigger and that was like a two-stage trigger, you know, it wouldn't be that bad, but it's not. And you still got this right here. And while it does not affect the action, the performance, the lockup, anything, this knife has never failed on me. It's been opened and closed, God almighty, I don't even know how many times. I don't even know how many times I have opened this knife because I've been carrying it for like a month now. It has never failed. There's never anything, no funny business at all going on. It's just the way that is mounted, and it is the only thing on this knife that makes it feel less than what it is. Everything else feels like more than what it is. Is that just Bazon blades? Is that a big deal? I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, I'm sitting here sort of acting like it is. It is not a big deal. It is not a big deal at that price point either. Okay? Yeah, this knife that costs twice as much doesn't do that, but it costs twice as much in the same materials for the most part. Okay, there's a difference there. Everything about this knife is just that finite, that very finite last little bit more refined. Every little thing. It's the price point. It's the price point. And I don't think that it hurts this knife. Is this annoying? It's a little annoying. I'm not gonna shit you. It's a little annoying. You know, But at $205 what I paid, or $220 what it's going for now, I can forgive it. I can forgive it. Please do not discount purchasing this knife just because of that reason. You will be losing out. It is an excellent, excellent knife. So I can't tell much of a difference in the action. The trigger feel a little bit different. And I did see the craziest thing, and I think this is a difference in the spring and lockup design on these knives. Fully extended and locked, this knife has that much under spring tension. Okay, so if I pull it out, it is under spring tension. If I let it go, it instantly, and spring pressure sucks it back into the locked position. I don't know what that is. Like I say, it's never failed me at all. Ever. It locks up solid. No issues at all. But the Hogue, which I have to be careful of, is double edge, has nothing. There is absolutely no in and out movement of that blade. There is still the lateral and the radial play for, clearance here, okay? And not having like a positive lock, blade lock, like a vice lock or like a hawk lock, whatever the lock design that the hawk lock is right now for their out the front autos. But I don't know what that is. And like I say, I'm not an expert. So is that bad? Is it good? Is it just different? It's just different. Is it just a different spring and lock design for this? Maybe you guys can forward this to Kershaw, and if they've got 4.5 hours, they can sit down and watch one of my super duper long videos. They can, let us know why that is. I don't know. All I know is that even at the current price of $220, an American-made, out-the-front auto and CPM Magnacut, the new miracle steel that is all going to save us all from Thanos, carbon fiber, a good-looking design, really good, compact, deep carry pocket clip that's reversible. Yeah, let's go over here and look at this stupid-ass pocket clip on this damn Hogue. This is a thing. I think Microtech started this crap bullshit right here. You know what? If you want to put a lanyard on this knife, that's great. More power to you. I'm not. I only own one knife out of the hundreds of knives that I own that has a lanyard on it, and I don't really like the lanyard on it. It just looks so damn good on it. I would prefer just a bloom, termination. No extra anything. You can see we're flush with the back of that knife, and the only thing you've got is the heads of the screws extending there, and they're well within this tip point of this design. Okay, so they're level with that. It doesn't make the knife any longer. I prefer that. I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. There's no lanyard hole in the Kershaw, which I approve of. They have my approval on that, and I know everybody needs Bazon Blades approval, if you've even heard of Bazon Blades. But that's just an additional thing for people that, I don't know. Do the people exist that are putting a lanyard on this? I don't know. Look at that damn knife. You better have some fancy-ass shit on a lanyard. I mean, like Starling geared, a $10,000 Starling gear lanyard. What is that, like one piece of their stuff? $10,000. Bazon Blades can't afford that shit. I don't even look at it anymore. But, yeah. Holy shit, man. These knives are so much the same, except for, you can see here, it's just a little bit more trim. I'm going to tell you right now, attitude of these knives, and then we're going to get out of this review. Attitude of these knives: gentleman's carry, utilitarian. That is, no, not attitude, character. Let's say character of these knives. Gentleman's carry, utilitarian. Okay? Everything about this knife, the fancy milling, the titanium anodized parts, the double-edged dagger type of blade, all of that is less utilitarian and more refined sort of, it just looks fancier. It looks fancier even though they're basically the same damn thing. Whereas the Livewire here, it looks utilitarian. There's no pop of color on it. There is just black and gray. Just a black and gray. You eject that blade and you've got a machine satin finish. On the Hogue, you've got a two-tone blade in stone wash with satin flats. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful knife. This is a beautiful knife, just in a different way. And again, excellent, excellent, excellent job. I very seldom see a knife that has what I consider a core performance parameter that is as well done as this knife. Your blade profile and choice of grinds will dictate this in your blade, and that is so close. That is so close. They have got that cutting edge so close to the overall length. Just a fantastic blade design. I know it's got a drop point here, so it's almost like a asymmetrical spear point with this big swedge, but to me it's more of a Wharncliffe, or not a Wharncliffe, but maybe like a sheep's foot, whichever one has got the belly to the blade and it's not a super flat edge. Whichever one of those it is. In reality, that's the way it cuts. You just get the pointier, super piercy sort of tip, just like on the Hogue. You know, I mean, the blade profiles are extremely close. You know, one's a true symmetrical dagger and the other one is a asymmetrical sort of spear point, you know, with this swedge giving a false sense of a secondary edge. This is a wider grind, and on the slightly thinner steel, I bet, I didn't check. I did not check this. Let's do this. Let's get the calipers of doom out here. Holy shit, this is going to be my longest video ever. Congratulations to all of you. I know you've all been asking for even longer videos from Baz Arm Blades, and damn it, Baz Arm Blades gives till it hurts. Let's see here what we've got. We're in metric right now. Let's see where we fall off on that secondary bevel there. Oh, right there. So we're that looks like it's going to be it right there. Yeah. About 0.4 millimeters. Which is what? 16 thousandths behind the edge. That's pretty damn slicey. That is pretty damn slicey for that narrow of a blade. Not super thick stock. 121 thousandths or 3.08 millimeters stock thickness. That is not too bad at all. I guarantee that's thinner than the behind the edge on the Hogue. It is a much shorter, oh yeah, that's like a damn axe compared to this grind right here. That's much shorter, half the width that grind has on a thicker blade stock. Yeah, much thicker behind the edge. So there you go, guys. Oh, it's super duper long and rambling. I don't even know what I said. I'm so out of practice doing content that I'm just throwing it all at the wall and seeing what sticks. So there you go. This is the Kershaw Livewire carbon fiber in CPM Magnacut for your blade steel. Currently $220 at KershawGuide.com. I think at that price point, it is absolutely hands down the best value in a performance, a high performance level of an out the front automatic in an American build. 2 years ago, nobody would have ever thought you could have gotten a knife this good, like this, American made, for just over $200. Nobody would have even thought that. You would have been embarrassed to even say that. It was not possible. It was not going to happen. And the crazy thing is, in 2024, with inflation, is so much worse than it was 2 years ago. It's even a better deal in my mind. It's even a better deal. This is a deal. It's a deal. You should go get one. You should get two. You should get one for yourself and get one for somebody else that you really like. Not your kids, though. Don't give your kids knives. You know. Maybe. I mean, you can give your kids knives. I don't know your kids. If they fall on a knife, it doesn't hurt me at all. Doesn't hurt Bazon Blades at all. Oh, wait a second. Shit. Disclaimer. Bazon Blades is not an expert on knives or children. Please do not take Bazon Blades advice. Please do not listen to Bazon Blades. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.